now for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Trey.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report special presentation of the Turnbuckle. I, of course, am your host, Double J. My guy to my right, your left, is none other than D. Gully from the CO Lumbus. What up, though?
What is up? Rolling. What is up? How we doing out there? What's going on, fans? What's going on, world? Yes, sir. Givy already with us, man. What's good now? What's good now?
Yes, sir. Givy, I am currently hanging on to a 1-point lead. And so if I dip off, as Barbershop Jay would say, there's going to be a sourness to my mood. I told Gully that I hate losing more than I like winning.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectionist mentality. Listen, first of all, let's talk about it real quick. Ooh, bro. He dropped 190. And Givy, you were right as far as Saturday goes. You were right about Baker Mayfield. We did not. We went with Stroud. Now listen, Stroud did have a decent day, 2 touchdowns, 190 yards or so. He had a decent day, but he didn't have a Baker Mayfield day. Yep. And so appreciate it. Thanks. And so we got to acknowledge that, right? So Givy, you know what I mean? Like I said, we can all admit when we came up short and we got it wrong. So I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get my headphones on so that way I can get all the way right with y'all. Also, what I also wanted to say was, as I get my audio together, what I also wanted to say was, last week we were not here. And last week we wasn't here. By night we're you guys as sports commentators, sports commentary from a barbershop perspective, whether it be the Turnbuckle, whether it be After Dark, whether it be the Shop Report. But by day, we got moves we got to make, we got things we got to do, we got bread we got to put on the table. So those two worlds collided in such a way where the compromise had to cost us evening. So my apologies on that. And thank you. And we want to be back, man. Continue doing this. Continue rocking with y'all. So just wanted to get that out the way. Double J, what you got to say on that, man?
Just what, on us not being there on Monday?
Yeah.
Look,
it was me. All right, he don't want to say it. It was me, man. It was me. Okay, Double J don't want to say it. I see what it is. That's fine, bro. It was me. It was me. I was the me. I was why we couldn't be here. All right, fine. And I apologize, man.
Yeah, but hang on a second. You were why you couldn't be here. In theory, I've gone kind of solo dolo before with this, and you know what? No, I think Yasmin actually, like, I waited till like midnight until she was available that night. So no, maybe I haven't.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah. So, all right, fine. Fair enough.
Fair enough. But the point is we back and we just want to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? But we back and we in the seat, man. And we want to get to some of this turnbuckle stuff, man. What we got going on? Oh, one last thing real quick. Let's get to Gibby. He says none of his guys underperformed.
It's not just so who he has is both Brock Bowers and Keenan Allen.
Ew.
Yeah, bro. Just I'm just letting everybody know now. If there's a level of radio silence that just is in proportion to like if
We just
Mr.
cut the
A
commercial.
somehow ends up over here, just don't ask no questions.
We'll just cut the commercial real quick.
So,
You lose. Come on.
man, oh man.
Come
he just-
on, Gibby.
Hey, you know what? The thing is, I sat Devontae Smith,
Mm,
and that was it. That was it. If you guys remember Saturday, that was it. Just before we completely move on from it,
yeah.
that was it. Because otherwise, it'd be 21 points right now, and I'd be feeling on top of the world. I'd be overjoyed. That was all. Just nobody to fault but yourself, and that's the thing. If it was 21, yeah, I would feel very, very good about it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. All right, we had our first main event, like
Yes.
kind of prime time, if you will.
Yes.
And of course, as you pointed out, kind of quick, get your thoughts on some of these, because I know, again, you had the opportunity as well to check these out. First, what did you think of it as a whole? And then if you want, we can jump into a couple notable matches that
it was pay-per-view or premium live event. It was PLE status. I think overall it really was. And I was really impressed. But you know what? They had 90 minutes to do so, and they got it right. They got it right. They got great matches. And the matches themselves, everybody, all the superstars, all the talent, they did it right, man. I feel like it was a really solid event, and I really enjoyed it. You can see my caption. That's what the first thing I want to get out the way. You see my caption? Okay, I seen the Gunther. If this is the guy I was talking about, I said he was here. I thought he was. I was kind of. If I wasn't fully on board, the way he finished that match. First of all, because you know how I don't like triple threats. I don't like world title matches that aren't one-on-one. Okay, even if it's a stipulation, one-on-one inside a cage, one-on-one with a ladder. I don't like world title matches when there's more than one-on-one. This one here, I had a feeling that Gunther was gonna walk in. If we're shooting on it, I had a feeling that Gunther was gonna walk out the title, the champion. But everybody made a case, right? Finn made a case. Priest made a case. I think everybody's stock rose, in my opinion. Particularly, for me, Damian Priest. I think he had the most in terms of, I don't really quite see it. I think he had the most, but I was already on board with Gunther. That finish solidified it. To be able to do that power bomb on 6'5", 250 outside, then run in the ring, missile drop kick, then finish with the power bomb on 5'11", you know what I'm saying? Like, that was crazy, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm with it. I can see that, man. So yeah, that was a good match. I really like that one. The main event did not disappoint. And Io Sky, Alexa Bliss. A lot of little Debbies. A lot of little Debbies. Oh no, I can't even hear you, bro. I think you muted. On purpose?
it might have been. It may have been. Probably in my best interest.
Yeah.
Well, if we really want to go there, because there was a new signing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Who?
Now remember, I'm not in control of any of this. Goodness gracious, I can't make this up. Dude, this is not my image, by the way, and it has not been doctored in any way either. Just for those. This is WWE's latest signing to NXT.
Oh, for real?
She's apparently a track star.
I know.
I'm not even BSing.
She showed up one on the debate team. I'll tell you that. She's not a
Well,
field major. All right.
Yeah. So again, shout out to Shawn Michaels on that side of things. That is
on what side of things?
Well,
all right.
He's married, right? Something like that. And
so hey.
So that her name is Megan, coincidentally. Walker.
Yeah. Hey, Megan.
Man, oh man.
Her name is Megan. Coincidentally, yes. Remember that.
Yep.
Double J. Her name is Megan. Last name Alba.
Yeah, can't forget it. Can't forget it. Well, so kind of moving. I gotta get those out of there. I did want to get.
I gotta get them out of there.
Man, I'm stumbling all over that.
I'm gonna be pick your tongue up.
Hey, so it was revealed that Logan Paul is hanging it up. And what do you think of this? In particular, tweet from AEW's Hangman Page.
That's so weak from him.
You think so?
From Hangman?
You didn't like that?
No, that's so weak. That's so weak of him because I hope the next person they give half my moveset to is at least kind of cool. Let me explain something to you. Logan Paul was not a bad superstar. Name a guy whose first match, right? When his first match WrestleMania versus The Miz?
Uh-huh.
All right. Name an amateur who comes in to that size of stage in that type of arena who could come into WrestleMania and perform like that, and that's his first time at it on a major scale. He might have done dark matches before. He might have done simulated matches, whatever they are. Name a guy or name another time we've seen that. So Logan Paul, for me, was very impressive. I felt like maybe his world title match was a bit premature. And I've said as much. But whatever you're talking about moveset, hope they give, that's so weak of him, man, because you're infinitely better superstar. And why you crapping on a guy that for what it's worth isn't on your level, for what it's worth isn't around as long, but also for what it's worth was really impressive with your moveset. Like they gave you your moveset. You're not even in WWE, sir. Where you at? Hey, where you at? Where's he at? All right, that was, I felt like that was weak of him. Like that's unbecoming. Like you got other stuff to worry about. That's all I have to say to that. Now I'll drink to that.
Well, I do. Jeez, oh pizza! Those cakes showed up on my screen again. Take a look at this here. Those within WWE are shocked that the possibility of Triple H competing against Kevin Owens was even considered by so many. It's not necessarily impossible for him to compete in a match, but he retired in 2022 and had no plans of returning. Never say never. This is as close to never as you can get. Obviously, you brought up main event, and that's why I'm bringing this up specifically.
Okay.
During tonight's Raw,
it
was revealed the extent of the champion Cody's injuries due to Kevin Owens.
Yep. Are they kayfabe? What do you think? The way it was playing up. Yeah, they'll give him some room to breathe. I think he's going to have an arduous WrestleMania schedule. We're already at the end of December, so we got Royal Rumble coming up. We've got WrestleMania to think about. So this probably give him, this is a reason to give him some time to get that rest, so that way we can gear up for a big finish. Big finish being WrestleMania. That is what 120 days away max. But
Mhm.
everything about the WrestleMania moment, that build-up starts effectively now. So in the meantime, what do you do with Kevin Owens? Because it seemed like that's the storm that's brewing.
Right. Exactly. What do you do with him?
Yeah, are you talking about Cody or KO?
Oh, with KO.
With KO, all right. This is his second time he's lost to Cody Rhodes for the title. This is Cody's maybe third great match as WWE champion. If you include his title win against Roman at WrestleMania, this would be his fourth. So I would say this is his third. But I'll say it's his fourth. His fourth. So KO is that guy. KO is the next great rivalry for him. Could KO be poised to win that title? I want to know if I don't know if the WWE brass feels like he could carry the title in the same way that Cody was able to do that. See, what I mean by that, and I'm saying a lot here. Let me break it down. We have had the most frustrating experience of having Cody win the title, you and I, among others, right? But we were like disappointed. We were left wanting with his title reign. Okay. It seemed disjointed, right? Just moments ago, I brought up the fact that he defended against Logan Paul at one point, right? So he hasn't had the most, I think, impressive title run. But when we look at the fan response, when we look at it on the PLE, he doesn't necessarily let the air out of the room, right? People are engaged. He gets that main event pop when he hits the ring, and people enjoy it. Saturday night's main event, people enjoyed that. He got that main event pop, right? So did KO for that matter. But he's been he's been a well-respected champion. I think even when we go back to the whole chicken incident, I think it was just that people wanted more from him, and they thought he's capable of more, and they wanted to root for him with better competition. So in recent weeks, what do we have? We have him versus KO. We have the champions match, him versus Gunther. So we're actually getting the matches that we wanted to get out of Cody, that we expected to get out of Cody, given how he's capable of winning, how he's capable of upholding the class and the standard and the prestige of being a universal champion. That being said, now it's time for the main event. Now it's time for WrestleMania. What's the WrestleMania moment going to be? Now it's time for him to have a formidable, competent competitor. Gunther is going to be busy. We don't know where they're going to put Roman Reigns. He may in fact be in play in that picture. I can see that, right? A back-to-back, right? I can see that happening. If it's not, we don't know where AJ Styles is. I wish it was him. Now we've got KO. Now we've got a guy that people would also like to see as Universal Champion, a guy who has been Universal Champion before. So it's not a surprise, or it won't be a misfire for him to possibly get that again. He's a formidable competitor, formidable adversary for Cody Rhodes. So keep building him. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do against a name like Triple H, who has the advantage of being a guy who, all right, he's still in great shape. He's still the game. He's not as healthy as he used to be, so you can play with that into the match. You can play into that with the match. Or if he's healthy, it can still be Triple H. Triple H can. I would hate for Triple H to go over on KO, but I would love for Triple H to give it won't be a squash, but to give him a quality victory to show that KO is capable of winning that title and possibly could get that title from Cody Rhodes. So if Triple H can do it, let him try. I'm not. It won't misfire for me for Triple H to be in, Royal Rumble main event or whatever elimination chamber or whatever you have coming up. It won't be a misfire for me to have him do that. So bring it on for KO. You lost that point, didn't you? You lost that point. You know what I want to, what your face looks like?
He had no reason to make that mother.
You know what your face looked like?
What it do, sports fans? It's your man BSJ from the Shop Report. And guess what? The shop is now open for business, baby. If you're on Facebook, go to our fan page, The Shop Report, click on more, and then shop to view all products. Or if you're on Instagram, click on the shop tab to see all our products. I mean, what you want me to do? I'm selling merch here.
All right, and we are back. I am fuming.
Yo, you cut the commercial, bro.
I am, dude. I am a sour puss right now, dude.
Cut the commercial. He had no reason to make that catch. Oh, so wait a minute, it's over with. Like, so you done, right?
In one of them, the other league I had to buy, so it's not like done.
Right. Yeah. So you clearly exemplified.
I play to win, man.
You hate losing more than you love winning because you in one league,
right? That I didn't even have to play because I'm in first. And
let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
The league that you just lost in, is that the bigger pot?
No.
You know what, man? I'm about to crash through this TV. I'm about to crash out.
And if you were to ask me in the league that I lost in, is that the league that I had Christian McCaffrey as my first round pick? The answer was yeah. Is that the league that I was 1-5 and had to go basically 7-2 the rest of the way? Yeah.
So what do you expect, my guy? You had a great season. You put it together. You had a great season. You were on the verge of being out of there, and then you marched it down. You walked those other teams down.
I will never
play with your back against the wall.
No, I will just. There's certain dudes, man. Like Tracy, you went to the same school as me, and you're why I lost. I'm blaming you, bro.
You call out names.
I'm naming names.
Nobody even know. You naming names. You know what, man?
Everybody else was cool. Like Jawan Jennings, I can't even fault you. I kind of can, but I'm not going to because you're why I got here. Tracy, on the other hand, bro, if you were gonna do nothing, man, you should have let somebody know.
This is
because I had options.
This is terrible. This is terrible. Oh man, this is terrible.
I am not happy. Are you for real?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is terrible. You guys are terrible.
Not right now. That is not.
There's always a time. Ray Charles said it. There's always a time, sir. Your cameras
and Mike said, "Do you remember the time?"
Yeah, I know.
And Morris Day had the time.
Yeah, sir. So you listen. You just quit being a sour, and let's tell these fans what else happened in the world of professional wrestling.
You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. And again, thank you for sharing that perspective on that. and amongst other things that were shared. So here we go. Wanted to gauge your thoughts here on tonight's program, because it started off with a little bit of a bang. I don't know if you've seen this or not.
Whoa.
Whoa is right. So, kicked off with CM Punk and Seth freaking Rollins facing off. Obviously, as you see in this image here, a brawl did break out between the two until the refs and staff had to separate them.
Right.
Where do we? Yeah, like, okay. This is becoming a big, like, talking point or sticking point for me, is that the number of brawls, if you will.
Yeah.
I can't recall. I like, remind me of an era that this was the result, like, kind of nightly.
Attitude Era.
Thank you. All right. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so it goes without saying that what has been announced with these two.
Oh. Okay.
What would you shoot on with this?
Man, that's gonna be great to bring people, to welcome people to the era of Raw, the era of WWE on Netflix. What I don't know is if this match is gonna have a clean finish. The reason why is because this is a main event of a pay-per-view. These two. This is a PLE main event. Easy. And so if you have one go over clean on Raw, how do you make a bigger finish on a PLE knowing that these guys are going to deliver on a PLE? How do you eclipse that going into a PLE? And I'm not sure that you could if you have a clean finish on Raw. So CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on Raw, welcome to Netflix. I'm drawn into seeing it. Just like a DQ, a schmoz, something like that to finish it. Just something to bring people there, but then leave people wanting. If you have CM Punk go over and it's clean, or you have Seth go over and it's clean on Raw, I would hate that, because I wouldn't want to see what happens at Royal Rumble with those guys, unless you put them into like a stipulation match on the PLE. So ladder match. But what are they climbing up a ladder for? They don't have a title. Hell in the Cell, traditional steel cage match, some type of gimmick match. I'm not sure, but I like the idea of those two getting at it. And I think if CM Punk could have that long-standing program with Drew, certainly this year can lead us into a WrestleMania main event, which is what I would absolutely love. And if somehow along the way, one of them ended up with a world title, that would even be better. But they both got to stay healthy. Which is stating the obvious, but I say that because CM Punk, he's older now and he's had those injuries. Remember, he had that muscle tear when he came back?
Sure did.
Right. And then the other thing, Seth Rollins has that unfortunate track record. And I don't want that to mar the potential of a big-time matchup between these guys on a PLE event. On the PLE. So that's what I think about it.
Absolutely. No, and those are great points. Later in the evening, we had this image here, which of course is Finn Balor questioning why the rest of the Judgment Day did not help him at Saturday night's main event, something you touched on a little earlier. Liv said they thought Finn could win on his own like she did against Io Sky.
Oh, yes.
And says he and JD need to focus on their match against the War Raiders later that evening, as they have
the
been
tag
banned.
champions, right?
Right. And they have been, the rest of the group had been banned from ringside.
Yep. Okay. All of that. All of them. I'm here for all of it.
So
sowing the
you're
seeds.
here for all of it, but elaborate on it, because I got mixed feelings.
No. If you see what has to happen, right? If you're seeing, listen, this is the eventual push back into the singles domain, back into the main event picture for Finn Balor. These are the arguments that have to take place. This is the, oh no, we thought you got it. We thought you was capable of it. Remember, it's different from what they said from Damian Priest. Damian Priest was like, I need to prove I'm capable. Don't y'all come help me. And instead, they saying for Finn, oh, we know you got it, bro. You don't need us. I'm like, no, but I didn't have it. But I need y'all. You know, it's certainly a confusing mixed message. But if this is how we push him back into being the Demon King or whatever, you know, whatever version of Finn Balor there is, then hey, I'm here for it. So this is why we're seeing this. And interestingly enough, she's right. Little Debbie is right. She finished her match by herself.
She I'm sure she finished a few things. Anyway. Wait a minute. That's the wrong show. And so, no, nevertheless, yeah, I don't know. I'm torn on this. I think.
Why are you torn?
Well, dude, here's the thing. Like, this has been a slow and painful death, if this is what we're doing.
Okay.
Right? Think of, like, you, of all people, knew really back, like, the origin days when Edge was at the helm.
Right.
You want to call it that. Obviously, football in mind. Man. The additions made sense, right? Like, it felt like a modern Brood. Okay. And
okay.
You know how disappointed I was to not see them all back together when that almost took place. But yeah. I'll take it for what it was worth. Now, again, if you take Rhea and Priest out of it, I had already been saying beforehand when we talked about the split to begin with that it was Finn who needed to push, that his singles career or lack thereof, like he was getting laid out so frequently, and he had just came from, pay-per-viewing, or I'm sorry, main eventing, or at least being relevant on PLEs.
Right.
Now, sure, he is a champion. I'm not, and he's with, his childhood friend, so there is value to that, but now that the turmoil of the faction is clearly indicating that something's going to change yet again.
Okay.
I just don't know. This a good boys to men. We've come to the end of the road.
Well, yeah, I felt like Judgment Day needed to implode even back when Damian Priest was on his way out. I didn't get it. But now that we have the brightest singles star in the organization or in the faction beginning to reemerge as a single star, what do the rest of the guys do? Because they don't have a singles identity. And I don't even know like where Carlito's place is after, let's say, Finn leaves. I don't know where Carlito's place is. Carlito and McDonough Does that even strike you as a compelling matchup or tactic? They don't have chemistry that I know of. Or let's say they don't have not necessarily chemistry, but they don't have a connection with us yet. And I forgot already the girl that's standing next to Liv. No, and I feel bad about it, but I forgot her name. I don't have no connection with her yet.
Raquel Rodriguez.
All right, bet. Yep. Raquel. Okay, so yeah, what's Raquel gonna do?
LWO.
All right. Yeah.
You see what I mean? Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So I'm saying that. Yeah, I don't know what Judgment Day means if they don't have. I don't know what Judgment Day means if they don't have like they don't have an impact on me as a faction. I like the individuals. All right, put it simple. If we go all the way back to DX, Hunter, Sean were impactful. When Sean had retired because of the back, and Hunter and China, and then Road Dogg, New Age Outlaws, and then X-Pac, they each had an impact. The New Age Outlaws were an impactful tag team. They had a connection separate from the fact that they were in DX. Think about it. As much as they were in DX, they had their own theme music and whole entrance that was already, that set itself apart. So they already had a connection. Then we put them together as a collective. DX ran, they ran roughshod over everything, right? Judgment Day, and I know it's a tamer back, it's a tamer art, it's a tamer backstage, much tamer backstage in 2024 than it was. We talking about 26 years ago, right? Or 25 years ago. But still, where do you have the individual impact? Like, where do you, I don't see it. And so what I do see is Finn is that guy that can set himself apart. The rest of the guys could do it too, but Finn is that guy. He's ready for that. I don't know if it was like punishment, reprimand, or what have you that put him in the faction for him to find his way back to being a captivating singles competition or competitor. He's there again. So now let him move on. And since he can move on, what does the collective can't stand without it? Let it dissolve. It's done its job. Rhea's on her way. Damien's on his way. Finn is on his way. Let it dissolve. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, at the expense of the others, right? It's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, let it dissolve. It's all right. I mean, heck, even that Daddy Dom can sort of have his niche now.
Yeah, I mean,
plus, you know why it needs to dissolve?
Go for it.
Tell me, did the Wyatt 6 show up tonight?
No.
Exactly. You don't need Judgment Day. You have Wyatt 6.
Well, and we'll get to them. You actually did a fantastic job. I could have segued into that and just skipped order. We did have these two individuals here. Drew McIntyre meeting Seth Rollins said that they're the only two that have not been fooled by Roman Reigns. And Drew says that Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and main event Jay have been enabling Roman and need to be taken out. Of course, Seth says that Sami and Jay are his friends and that friendship is forged in respect. Seth says that he respects Sami and Jay, but the jury is still out for Drew.
I know too much. Professional wrestling is not meant for us, or WWE is not meant for us to remember too much of the background. It's hard for me to buy into that, knowing that it was Seth who hit Roman with the chair to dissolve the Shield. How can you not trust a guy that you did the exact same to? And how could you not trust him? In fact, I would say you could trust him because you know what he's capable of, because you in fact did it to him. And for what it's worth, heel Roman got clean wins. A lot of them. A lot. He got clean pinfalls. A lot of them. A lot. What his heel turn was just his arrogance. Was not just, but primarily his arrogance as a winner. His arrogance as a survivor. His arrogance as a leader. But it wasn't like, I can't do it without these guys, or I really can't do it without these guys. So I'm having a hard time buying into Roman's a snake. Roman's going to betray you, because he never really presented himself as that type of leader. He was just like, I'm better than the rest. I'm better than all you peons. He was like Floyd Mayweather.
I love what you just said, because I'm going with I'm going to take two of your points, and I'm going to go completely different directions with them.
Okay.
But the first is the last point, which is Roman never presented himself that way. I agree with you. Second, when you said fans aren't necessarily meant to remember, but that doesn't mean that what occurred wouldn't matter in the future. And so where I'm going with that is, if you look at what's unfolding across both brands, both programs, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were once upon a time buddies, right?
Owens and Zayn were buddies. Yes. Okay.
Stick with me here.
Yep.
Then you go as far as to say, okay, well, now Drew is trying to be friends with Seth.
Okay.
Right? Does that sound accurate?
Drew is trying to be friends with Seth. Okay.
Could we see in some way, shape, or form some kind of shield or anti, if you will, anti-shield emerge?
Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins.
Possibly.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens has an axe to grind with Cody Rhodes. Seth, of course, has already laid it out that he don't trust Roman. And Drew, but what I'm failing to grasp is Drew's connection to Roman. He beat him at a pay-per-view, a couple of them, right?
So remember, yeah, correct. But here's the thing. In the statement, it says, so again, Drew is saying that Sami Zayn, so there's one, Jimmy Uso is 2, Main Event Jay is 3, have all been enabling Roman, which is 4.
Yeah. Could that be a shield? Yeah, because you do. Yeah, you have the architect, right? That was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
You have the wild card, which is Kevin Owens, and you have the tank, which is Drew McIntyre. You could
again, Seth, but here's the thing, though. Seth and Kevin Owens again have already. They remember the this is the notion of the enemy of my enemy is a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So knowing Seth and Kevin Owens already have the bridge, right? They are already they're cool.
Yep.
Drew is now trying to extend the olive branch to Seth.
Yep.
So that
they got a couple of people that they collectively don't like.
Correct. Oh, absolutely.
Right. They homies for real. They don't realize it yet.
Right. Given that previous, given my quote there. Or...
They homies for real. Like they don't even realize.
So that's what I mean. And the cool part about that is there's so many mutual enemies, if you will.
Yeah.
That it actually really blows the door wide open based on where we are and where we're headed.
Okay.
Because you have so many wild cards and variables that you can actually play that from a creative vantage point, it is almost too much of a you pick. But I'm going to ask you, that's from my angle. Does it work for you? And then how would you book this?
Okay. The Shield 2.0 does work for me because the three of those guys are all captivating. I keep saying that word because that is the word I'm looking for. Like charisma, captivating. They can bring just attention. They're worthy of, or I'll tune to it. I can see what they're doing. I'd be interested in whatever they do as a trio. I'll be interested in that. So it could work. The challenge that I would have though is what would they do differently from the Bloodline 2.0? Like, wouldn't they get in the way of each other? And how entertaining would that be? How entertaining would it be to see the Shield 2.0 versus the Bloodline 2.0? Am I really here for that? I'm not sure. Like I don't know what purpose that would serve.
I think again, the stable, just that stable of Seth kind of having a slow heel turn.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now feels painfully slow.
Yeah.
But they join together, if they form that stable.
Yeah.
To your point, this is the close. The only thing I can relate it to is maybe Edge in 04.
Okay.
And I think we could see this playing out, to your point, because there's been Nexus rumors. Okay, that's probably something you haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, so who's the tribal chief of the Shield 2.0? You get what I'm saying? That's the confusion that I'd have.
The thing is, like, Roman is someone that they build him up and then they knock him all the way down again.
Yeah.
And then he starts that climb.
Yep. Yeah, he's great at climbing. Yeah, he's a mountain climber for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, and the first time they did it is because the fans rejected it. The second time they did it is well, wait a minute. This would be the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because once he climbed that mountain, the first time he was there, he became that guy. You knock him down again, and he's got to figure it out, and he forms strategic alliances all the way back up until he gets to go. Now, here's the problem that you're saying. Here's the problem with what you're saying. The challenge I would have. For him to get gold again at this time, he has to do it as a heel. So if he does get gold again as a heel, Are you here for the Shield 2.0 being heels against a heel, or somebody would have to flip face? Tell me, when have you seen two heels actively be heels and work against each other, work with each other in the program? When did you have two heels do that? You've had two faces a lot. You've had a anti-hero and a heel, or an anti-hero and a face. But tell me when you've seen two heels go at it and it work. Like legitimate heels. You could almost argue Seth versus the Fiend, but the Fiend wasn't a heel necessarily, because the fans wanted him in that spot, and they behaved accordingly to him wanting to him in that spot. They were supposed to not like him. He was supposed to terrorize Seth Rollins, but people wanted that title around the thing, and it ended up happening. So if this plays out, if this materializes, Roman is working the path of, he's going to have to double cross Cody. And that's going to make him a heel again, which is fine because he's great as a heel. But then what would Seth and the Shield be? Shield 2.0 be? I'm not going to necessarily root for them because I'm actually more drawn to Roman Reigns being a heel. I'll end up rooting for Roman Reigns, but I'll still it'll confuse me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, and that's why I've been trying to chew on this and see who, like, in a weird way, what came to my mind first was Miz and Maurice.
Okay. All right, go with it.
I mean, like, just because you asked, so I took like all context outside of that out, and just like, have we seen it before? Yeah. Like, can I at least find something, albeit even in the strangest and slightest of being able to check the boxes? But to your point, yeah, there's been okay. I'm sorry, I just had to stop. Dude, have you seen Al Davis's girlfriend or whatever his name is?
Al Davis is dead.
Okay, well, his son.
Okay. No.
Just Google him and then her, okay?
I know what Al Davis. I know what is it Mark? Is it Mike? Is it Mike Davis or Mark?
Maybe
Davis?
Mark. He looks like a Mark.
I think it's Mark Davis.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Mark. Let's just say it's out of the Bill Belichick collection.
Oh my God! Yeah. How? What? What?
Hey, bro, that's something out of WWE.
Yo, no way. Yo, no. Yo, listen.
It stopped me because I had to scream. You know,
what am I mad for? What am I mad at? What am I mad? What am I really upset at?
All. It was just, it caught me off guard, man.
I mean, it's just an interesting observation. Like, where else do you see that at? Like, is that in the mall near you?
Man, it might be with the OG. You know,
is that walking into Applebee's or Chili's, or is it walking in to?
Oh, you're just talking about the piece.
Is that template, both of them?
You'll see that in Vegas. Yes, you will.
See, you said Vegas.
You said
Vegas, right? But I'm saying, are you going to see that going to your Walmart?
One could only hope.
Or Meijer. You're not gonna see that go. They're not gonna, you hold the door, you're leaving, and then they walking in, and they're gonna ask you for the shopping cart. It's like, oh, thank you for the shop. You got a shopping cart, whatever. You're leaving, you don't need your shopping cart. Are the two of them? Is that combination gonna be like, oh, are you done with this cart? Oh no, you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna be. Come on, bro. You're not.
But you ever heard that? Like, I think this is becoming a thing. where they say like we're like a 6 in our country, but we're a 10 in America.
All right.
So
All right.
to your point, there's what's known as maybe like a Midwest 10.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a yeah. All right.
I'm gonna get myself in trouble here.
You need to stop.
So
hey, what that meme say? You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. Yo,
control.
You need to leave. That dude got mad. You need to leave. He started cussing, boy. He was upset. Yo, let's exit that. Let's exit that conversation, bro. Let's head.
Yeah. So speaking of hurt and potentially seeing better days. Yeah. So later this evening, what we had was Braun Breaker beating Kaiser to retain. Now I'm going to stop the nonsense. I'm going to call it right now. Okay. I've said this for months that. Remember the same dude that offered John Cena a while ago?
Yeah.
Insert open challenge.
Yeah. John versus Braun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it. Until you see, and his name is John Cena. That is the only guy who will, because remember, he lost it for like a cup of coffee.
To Jey Uso, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of us saw that coming.
Right. And I think that was simply to keep things refreshing, right?
Well, it kept us on our heels.
Yeah, it did. Right.
And now that's where I'm going with it. Good match overall. Unfortunately, man. Again, I talk about why you have to capitalize on the momentum. I don't believe Kaiser's injury was kayfabe. It was just terrible because it was terrible timing. Just like Braun, I almost said Braun Strowman. The guy. Wait a minute. Speaking of, I never brought that up because we didn't have a show last week. Did you see that injury from his jump?
Who's Braun's?
Hang on. I wish I could.
Was it on Raw?
No, it was Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, it was at Survivor Series.
Oh, no. Was it Bronson Reed's injury or was it Braun's?
No, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you feel like dude should have been doing that?
Who am I to say? Because he didn't try nothing that he hasn't completed. I don't think that was new for him to try that.
How? I don't want to insult him, but I don't know his dimensions. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like that was a wise decision. Like that's what he should have been doing. Like he was arguably getting the push again, deservingly so.
Yeah.
And then that. In an era where we're about to be 2 hours and so on and so forth. I just want to point that out. But yeah, ultimately I do believe that he's gonna have surgery, dude. And you can't fake that left ankle buckling.
Yeah. That's and you're saying, and with his size, that injury, that healing, once it heals was one thing, but then you have to strengthen
Hey, Roman Reigns can climb that mountain, but Bronson Reed's a whole lot. You know, he's
Yeah.
carrying a little bit more.
Right. And yeah, that is unfortunate. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Right, to your point, you don't have to do that. Like, you are a superstar. You have an entire match. You have an entire way of telling the story in a match. If we're shooting on this, where that does not have to be a part of it for us to be able to say, "Wow, look at what this guy can do." You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is unfortunate in that way.
So interestingly enough, here, moving along, the New Day needs to find. Oh yeah, I got murked. At least it's over with. You know, Keenan Allen, man, bleep you, man.
Why is you
Man,
mad?
your old ascot
Why
didn't even.
you mad?
Man,
Oh my god!
Because man, like your team, man. Oh man,
oh man.
23.
He might have played
You are a bum. Now you are washed.
Megan, please give him some calming Lipton tea, please, Megan. Please. If you have anything,
it's not after
if
dark
you have
tonight,
anything that requires a lighter to burn, please. Please. They're still gonna be calling Tupac. First off,
hey man.
Oh man. So tell me what we got here. Ray, who about to be 50. Dude, he's about to be 50. Rey Mysterio's about to be 50.
I don't know how I feel about that, bro. He's been wrestling since I was like in middle school.
He's been wrestling, I think, since he was 18. He's been doing this for 32 years. That is a long time.
Why do I feel like we're okay? No, we're not that close in age. But him being 50, I don't know how. Look, man, you know how every now and then they'll say like this was the cast of this movie, and not one of those cheesy things like you'll never believe what they look like next,
right?
But just here's where they were, here's where they are,
yeah.
And then you'll see some numbers, man, that you'll be like, oh no,
right?
Because then you do that. I've fallen into this. You're like, in that same amount of time, that kind of puts me right in that window there.
Yeah.
You start looking at things a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now, he is the man behind the mask. Right. But, to your point, how much more left in the tank does this guy have? Because when did guys like, even Triple H, right? How old is Triple H?
All right, there's a fundamental
I literally
difference.
brought him up earlier that he might, he's considering coming out of retirement.
There's a fundamental difference, and we have to acknowledge this.
Oh boy,
how tall is Rey Mysterio, and how much does he weigh?
All right, well, Google's our friend. Well, yeah, he's 5'6". How tall is Xavier Woods then?
5'9".
Well, that only puts Kofi at maybe 6'2".
Yes. Correct. So Rey Mysterio is a smaller guy. So for him to be fit and in shape, even for him to be sort of bulky, it's not as much body on frame as you're talking about a guy that's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's still 170, 160, Rey Mysterio. I mean, think of it. We're still seeing Jet Li or Jackie Chan in their 50s. Probably, I think both of them in their 60s now, capable of moving as athletically and acrobatically as they ever were. So for Rey Mysterio, a smaller body on frame, him being physically fit and healthy, it's easy to see him do this for another if he wanted to do another 10 years, or in his case, let's say he slowed down significantly and came back for and went to like really a part-time schedule, he can easily continue to do this into his 60s. Heck, the great Muda was still doing this into his 60s. Oof. So it's not it wouldn't be a surprise for me. I would like to see him to slow down on the strength of there is the rigors of being in every event challenge talent. So the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, PLE to PLE. And if he's not going to be interested to be around for the long haul, maybe, taking that time away to enjoy and reflect on his career, where anytime he can come back into a ring, he can do a match with his son or what have you. And, he can come back and he'll get that pop and he can give us a 619 and he can still do those things from time to time, occasionally. That'll be great. It's just for his sake, because that way he can really celebrate the career he's had and the legacy he's created, but not because I don't want to see him. I'm tired of him. You know what I mean? No, it's just that I like for him to be able, while he's still got presence of mind and he isn't broken up like so many of our other aging superstars, is for him to be able to enjoy and reflect it. You gave us plenty of memories, bro. Go ahead and enjoy it and reflect on that.
Yeah. No, oof. That's what I'm saying. It's time. Let Dom. This what, to your point, right? Okay. I think I could shoot on this. Judgment Day goes its separate ways. You give me Dom versus Ray one final time. If I lose, I'm through. Put Dom in the mask.
Dom ain't ready for that mask.
He's got to be. It's now or never, dude.
No.
Maybe not tomorrow, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it is time.
Dom ain't ready for that mask. See, Dom ain't ready for that mask, because you understand, this man is named Rey Mysterio, and he's not even known as Junior anymore. He's known as Rey Mysterio.
Wow, man, oh man, you got to be an OG.
Right.
Oh,
so,
man, gosh. Man, you're just piling on between the fantasy loss and now mortality.
Yo, but I'm saying, like, so what I mean is, for you to be Rey Mysterio, you got to be capable of being Rey Mysterio. And if Rey Mysterio is a lucha libre extraordinaire, you got to be capable of delivering lucha libre extraordinaire. Even for Rey Mysterio to be young, even when he was younger and still, young, and we talking about the mid-90s or what have you, I think he still was better than where Dom is right now. I wouldn't want Dom to put on that mask yet. Because when you put on that mask, remember, there's a reason why, even though we see him without the mask, he still don't take it off. You got to be able to deliver with that mask on it. That's what it means so much in the culture of lucha libre wrestling and in the Eastern cultures of wrestling. Those masks are a big deal. Heck, it's the reason why we ain't never seen King take his mask off in Tekken. You got to be capable to deliver with that mask. And Dom ain't ready yet. He getting there, but he's not ready yet. So I wouldn't want to put that mask on until we know he's ready.
I like it. I like it, though. I think this is what he should be. I think he's been working on this. You can see parts of it in his game. He's got the heel down to the point where, man, I almost floated something out there, and I just didn't want to end up. I'm gonna say this, and you tell me how you feel about it. All right.
All right.
And I'm gonna say it, and I'm walking away.
All right, bet.
Man, I am really hesitating saying this. Dominic Mysterio is one of the best heels of all time.
It's Kay Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Harvey Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report.
It's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
You're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report.
It's Max McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man. We're at Murphy Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
Hey, this is Herman Harvey, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens, and you're listening to the Shop Report.
And just like that, we are back. Oh my!
That's a heel type move you did. You made that statement and then just dipped out on us.
I wanted to give you a chance to chew on it.
I'm chewing cookies, bro. I'm chewing Grinch cookies, man.
Did you ever hear this theory that, you know, the Grinch isn't like the other Who's? You know?
What you mean? Something about like he an anti-hero. Like he did that because they were all obsessed with the consumerism of Christmas, and what he did helped to remind them of their humanity and their connection with each other.
He needs some milk.
Hush, Megan. I know these joints is dry.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to tell you this. How much truth is there to this? Remember what did they eat in green eggs and ham?
Green eggs.
Color's the Grinch, bro.
They ate you saying they ate the Grinch, the cannibals?
Well, he's not one of them. What did the Who's eat on Christmas?
I don't have no.
Hang on, I'm gonna Google this. I'm Googling.
No, bro. Megan's telling you
Who's
don't do
eat
this
for Christmas.
You must have ran this
they
by
eat
her.
Who roast beef? Hang on a second. This is straight from AI and Google. Here we go.
Oh, see, AI be lying. AI be lying.
There it is, right there.
The Who ate Who pudding and rare Who roast beef for dinner. The Grinch stole the Who's feast, including the food, the tree, and all the presents. If you want to recreate a Who feast,
no, we're not doing all that. But I'm just saying.
You must have subjected her to this nonsense.
No. It's no. She doesn't like me ruining things. That's all. She doesn't like the truth.
Just like you don't like Kayden Allen.
No, not anymore. Man, he would have rolled his ankle 10 times in LA by now. Been out for season 6 times.
Oh.
But he wants to do this and ruin my season.
Man, he did it just for you. All right,
well, right. 20. He has 23 points. Brock Bowers did me a favor. Brock Bowers like, hey man, I got you. Keenan Allen's like, nah, bro. I want to have a career game for no reason for my 4-8 team.
Oh gosh. All right, so wait a minute. So where you going with this, bro?
Well, yeah. So, well, again, they eat the Who roast beast.
Okay, so the Who's are not vegans. All right, got it.
Right, but how many other Grinches are there?
I don't know.
Think about this like from almost like a Yeti context. Like it was the hunter becoming the hunted.
So you saying that 8 Grinches?
Essentially.
How you figure that? The eggs were green, not the ham, bro.
Hang on a second. No, bro. No, famo. Hang on a second. Hold on. Google is our friend.
So the ham was green too?
Oh, man. I love this. I can't believe
Was
it.
the ham green? It said green eggs and ham. Now, green could be eggs and green ham. Read though.
Man.
So the ham was green as well?
The ham is green. Come on, bro. Who's green?
So they 8 Grinches. He took their presents and told them to be human.
Classic American tale of spinning some kind of some kind of like
so
paganistic.
All right, so let me ask you this. Let's run this. Let's run this scenario. You mean to tell me if Sasquatch had enough of our stuff and was like, you know what? I'm gonna cut their power. I'm gonna take all their presents, and them humans gonna remind them who they are. You mean to tell me humanity will be like, you know what? Sasquatch helped us to remind us who we are. Sasquatch, who's been in the hills and in the woods and can't never be found on camera, for us to be able to, ain't never showed his face around us, took our livelihood and our recreation and our livelihood just to make a point to us. So we can be like, you know what? Thank you, Sasquatch. You've taught us something. We're going to
hang on a second.
You think that's going to happen?
Think about, like, look, there's a movie, I think it's called Krampus or something. Okay. And in that, the kids are all spoiled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it has it's rated R, so that one doesn't have a happy ending. It would make you look at snow globes a little different. But the concept of it is to essentially exactly what you just laid out there, which is a classic American tale of what matters in the end
is.
So you're telling me right now, if Yeti came running on the door, no different than one of these
and
drone
took
aliens,
our livelihood and our recreation to prove that we would all sing Kumbaya.
Are you going to care about your iPad and your
Xbox?
You
mean to tell me, bro?
Are you going to care just about do I got the kid and the spouse, or all of a sudden all that mattered, right, is the people.
My dude.
Now, it just so happens
would be literal trinkets paraded in the square. Okay. We would take Yeti, turn him into a jigsaw puzzle, and then get our stuff back. Is what I'm saying.
No, but they're in Whoville.
Listen, we don't know. Ain't no Whoville, the police department.
Nope.
There's no Whoville EMS. You mean to tell me some of them who was in Whoville they don't have glass for their windows? They don't have cars with engines that break down. They don't have red lights that they run. There's a whole lot of aspects of Whoville that you just kind of conveniently leaving out.
Well, remember, it says Ville, not. We didn't say the east side of Whoville, right?
Right. We ain't saying down the way in Whoville. I'm saying, where's Whoville Community Apartments at, bro?
This is the Metro Whoville. Like
Right,
outside
the Whoville metropolitan
suburbs.
area is what you're saying?
Yeah, this is the suburbs.
Of the Whoville Heights is what we're getting at?
Yeah. We're
South
going with that.
Whoville?
See what I mean? Far more, it's blue.
All right, bro. Yeah. So you taking presents, you ain't taking the livelihood of them folks in South Whoville, how much they gotta pay in taxes to send their kids to little Whoville school.
Man, you're telling
bro,
me right
now. Bro, he's turning into a jigsaw puzzle, bro. I'm telling you what, there's not singing Kumbaya. Right. It's not happening. It's not happening. Like what your analogy is not going to, bro. I'm telling you what. They will come together. They will come together, tearing him apart.
You see that? There it is. There it is. Look at that. It united them.
No, in the whole movie, the Grinch was united with the Who's in Whoville. That won't happen in this Ville. That won't happen in Warrensville. That won't happen in Westerville. That won't happen in.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Because it depends on who you ask. Right now, if we have some current events unfolding, right, with some very questionable things, one of which I have a video from my plane ride home that I should actually send your way. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, wait a minute. No.
With this. Oh, no. The title has changed. Wait a minute, bro. What show are we on today? Oh, no. First it started with Little Debbie Cakes. Now we done turned into
Who's there was nothing little about that. Anyway.
Woo.
So where I'm going with this is you're telling me if there was a close encounter of the third kind.
And he took our presents?
In the hood.
Yep.
Do you not think like that would be that they wouldn't own that we wouldn't care about the iPad anymore? Right. The only tool you want is that you grab the mouse tool, right?
No, like, what I'm saying is the fatal flaw in your logic is that the people, and this is what I'm getting at. The fatal flaw in your logic.
Oh, now look at this. To be fair, it's not the Grinch didn't like Christmas. He didn't like people. Now why didn't he like the people? They were eating him.
So what I'm saying is,
come on, bro. Hang on.
You're missing my point. You are
missing Whoville.
No, you're missing my point. I'm thinking you're missing where I disagree with you. Let me capture where I disagree with you.
All right.
The Grinch took the nostalgia and the camaraderie of the people, because their nostalgia and their camaraderie was built into the commercialism of the day. He took that from them for the people to come together and remind themselves that they're human too. And in doing so, they thanked him for it by saying, hey, well, maybe you can be a part of this too. What the Grinch did, I understand the intent and I get it. But what I'm trying to tell you is what would happen in this terrestrial plane that we're in is that if the Grinch took our we are turning him into a jigsaw puzzle, reminding ourselves that we are humanity and we should love each other. And pieces of the Grinch will be carved into the little snow globes that we'll have and celebrate. Yeah, I remember when the Grinch tried to take our stuff and we forgot who we were. And we got it all back and we loved and we sang Kumbaya and we sang the song around the tree. And the Grinch was an ornament in that tree, is what I'm trying to tell you. We're not going to let him take our and then be like, you know what? Thank you for teaching us that lesson. And you celebrate with us. Nah, bro, listen, you know what we do to deer and elk, and they don't take nothing from us. You understand what I'm saying? You got somebody, you got family, you got people that you know of. You go to their house and it's a big elk with the antlers and all that. You know, Rudolph is on the fireplace. And what did he do? He just sat there and grazed for food. Now you telling me a Grinch that's gonna take stuff from us ain't gonna get the same treatment? Is that what you saying, Double J?
I am, but in a look.
Man,
Here's the thing, dude.
Out your mind.
Remember, look at just like the last comment says. The Grinch didn't like he had nothing against what was going on. He didn't like the people, but there was a deeper reason why he didn't like the people. Now, based on even your rationale,
yep,
the Grinch, wouldn't you say, have had every right to want to terrorize those individuals?
I would say, yeah, perhaps, because it was survival of the fittest. It was killed or be killed, and he was it.
Right. So you're talking about like no different than certain other holidays that are, casually. There's some narratives there that may overlook or, etc. This kind of fits that vibe a little bit. That's all. Dwayne checking in, saying hello.
All right, what's going on, Dwayne? We are.
Dwayne, do you also agree with me on this theory that the Grinch was being a menace because he was hunted and potentially witnessed some atrocities by the Who's?
But that's not what I disagree with you about.
You're just saying that they would fire back. And
I'm saying find human beings rediscovering their humanity.
But we're talking the Who's here.
No. If we correlate this to everyday life, all right. If the Grinch wasn't a Grinch and instead it was a Yeti or Sasquatch, what I'm trying to tell you is humanity would find them. People would find their humanity again. And the Grinch would find themselves a bullet in his head. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody would find something. That's all I'm saying. He's not going to come to dinner.
Hang on a second. How many of those shows have we seen? Right? They literally. It never ceases to amaze me. They have these shows like we're hunting Bigfoot.
Yeah,
bro. But none of them seem to be prepared for when they find them.
Exactly. Oh, believe me, if he took our stuff, do you know how much an iPad costs? Okay. If he took our stuff, you try to propose to your wife on Christmas Day and this and Sasquatch got a bag.
You try explaining that. The Sasquatch took your ring.
It wouldn't be no explanation. The only explanation I would have to have is a taxidermist that's going to tell you, look, yeah, I got it. This is what it is. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Bro, he's not making it out of the story. He's not sitting down for dinner. We're not taking no pictures with him and he posing with us. Ain't gonna be no selfies with Sasquatch. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We rediscover our humanity and he'd find himself on the other end of some. Thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, and so what we had here, of course, is Liv Morgan, Dirty Dom, and Raquel celebrating her title defense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Rhea interrupts.
Yep.
It says that Adam Pearce has named her the ¡1 contender, and she will defeat Liv and become champion once again.
Yeah. See, I hinted at this earlier when it came to the idea of Seth Rollins reforming, Seth Rollins, or the one that you suggested, the idea that Seth Rollins becoming or recreating recreating the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
How they like us to forget, but we can't forget. Maybe it does happen that way for many others, but remember, it was Rhea that terrorized Alexa and cost her title. Remember the injury, that sidelined her, and that's the recency bias being in effect. You get what I'm saying? That wasn't too long ago. That was in this era. That wasn't a whole nother era, attitude to ruthless aggression to PG to whatever. No, that was in this era. So it's hard for me to buy into oh, Alexa about to get what's coming to her because she just been run. No, Alexa has returned what was delivered to her. She done sent back the receipts. So it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm ready for Ripley. Even whether I'm working or shooting on it, it's hard for me to see. Oh, it's hard for me to overlook that at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree. It does seem like when they have that main event, it will be signaled the end here.
Yeah.
Speaking of the ends, The Miz attempted to cut ties with the Final Testament, but Paul intervened, saying that he saved Miz two times. So he still owes them. Karrion Kross, of course, said he must face Dexter Lumis next week.
Oh. See, we got Final Testament. Or what is Judgment Day? Isn't the Final Testament before Judgment Day? And what are these guys doing? See what I mean?
What do you mean?
I feel like it's redundancy and overlap.
Yeah, I thought they were on a collision course to go against one another. But
yeah, but we far from that.
Yep. So I thought, again, Miz is trying to split that faction too, and maybe that is ultimately what we got.
All right, cool.
Oh, shout out to Chris. Just subscribed on his phone. Appreciate it, definitely. And so moving along, we had Zoe Stark beating both Raquel and Kayden Carter in imagine that. It was a triple threat, and wouldn't be the Triple H era without the triple threat. Advancing to the next round of the IC title tournament.
So wait a minute, the triple threat match, the winner advances to the next round?
Mm-hmm.
Are they all triple threat matches?
No.
Were these that competed, were they the lower seeds or the higher seeds?
That's the thing. Hang on, I'm going to pull up the whole. There we go. All right. Let's see. Perfect. All right. Oh, bear with me. There we go. So just so you could kind of see here.
Oh, okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so triple threat matches, winners advance to okay, that makes sense. And then you have singles. All right. So Chris to say Dakota better win the whole championship tournament. All right. So now Zoe Stark won this triple threat, you saying?
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Then you got go ahead.
To Chris's point, and as you could see in that image that I had pulled up, when they're sore winning, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit telling here. And for that reason, I think she is out. And then, of course, speaking of people that were not involved, I do want to point this out. Imagine that another backstage attack. What? Yeah, what's going on with this?
Hey man, who is that on the ground there? It's blurry, bro. Who is that on the ground?
Oh, what? Wait. Oh, the one with the hand hurt?
Yeah.
Carrie.
Oh. Yeah. And we don't know who did it?
Unknown.
Okay. Convenient storyteller. Who you think did it?
Charlotte Flair.
Why would she attack her then?
There's been a rash of, well, you know what though? This is for the IC title. Part of me wants to go Raquel, part of me wants to go Liv, but I'm kind of torn on this one.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
Unless, I mean, you could maybe. No, I'm not going Dakota Kai. No.
Okay. Charlotte and Becky making their way back at some point in the near future, I think. Heel Charlotte is the strongest. Heel Charlotte is the strongest of the two, let's say, Charlotte personas, if you will. So it would make sense for her to be the one to do it, create any advantage that she can. Now, whomever it is, they can attack. But then again, remember, this is the Intercontinental Championship, so she wouldn't give it, because she's main event. She's, women's title or bust. She don't need a secondary title.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's what I mean. There's a couple different avenues you could kind of explore with it. And our main event, of course, was the new tag team champions.
Wow.
Yeah, the War Raiders defeated Finn Balor and JD.
Wow. Wow. In soccer, and you play this game or you know of it game a lot. Sometimes to reach your goal, you reach your basket or reach your net, you got to sometimes move a bit backwards. All right. And for Finn to reach his ultimate goal of becoming an established singles competitor or champion, he's got to step back, lose with his partner, and then subsequently be called into question as leader of Judgment Day in order for him to set himself apart and start winning. So, par for the course, if you ask me.
So again, Chris saying Pure Fusion Collective or Passion Fruit on this program is who is behind it. And then Damian Priest helped the War Raiders win. That is some good context that I did not add because I was sulking from Monday Night Football.
Oh, God, man, get off the Monday Night Football now. You lost. It
hurts.
You lost, bro. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's
like
okay.
Finn and JD, I lost. Or like Chris Tucker on Friday, give me my money. I lost. Fantastic. So announced for next week's Raw is Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. T. Gully, no stipulations were announced for this. So that is going to be interesting from my point of view. I thought it was necessary because we have seen this many a time. So who you got and why?
Sami Zayn's gonna. Yeah, I think Sami Zayn's gonna pull this one out.
Give me a disqualification.
Oh, Who wins on the disqualification?
Nobody. It'll be so the way that Chris was just mentioning.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, he got all the insight.
Oh, yeah. All right, Chris. So now, wait a minute. I was aware of main event already, but I was not aware of Raw. So that is definitely worth noting. But before we completely move on. Oh no. I there it is. Okay. Oof. I almost lost what I was looking for.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. Oh, apologies. I thought I had it open here, but I do not. There it goes. Okay. Let's try this all over again.
Okay.
Live TV. Okay, so this is a statement from Tony Khan in regards to now, Gully, I think I've kept you in the loop on this Phoenix thing, right?
Refresher quickly.
All right. So quick refresher was that tag team was supposed to leave AEW, come to WWE. Okay. There was a point in time, speaking of the War Raiders, who are now champions, when there was some symbolism going on. We were talking about who it could be. Yep. I said it could be them. This is shortly after the Motor City Machine Guns, like a bullet came and went. And then these guys were supposed to come over. So all of a sudden, Tony pulls a Triple H, or not so much Triple H, but more so a Vince move, and adds injury time to someone's contract. Okay, so somewhere along the way, Phoenix then says, I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines, he tweets, I can't believe I'm being treated this way, and, I'm hurt and all that stuff, like, physically.
Right.
And so, basically saying, like, the reason he's hurt had everything to do with, he's basically blaming AEW.
Okay.
So much so that it was eye-opening from WWE's vantage point. They weren't expecting that. And it led to this statement here from the AEW folks. So again, this is from TK. I want to address the recent claims made by Rey Fenix regarding the medical care and treatment he's received in AEW. I want to sincerely apologize to Rey for any misunderstandings on issues he has faced. The reality is Rey does not speak English fluently, which has made it very challenging for us to properly communicate and understand his needs at times. For example, when he suffered an injury last year, I thought he was trying to tell me he was hungry, so I sent him to go get something to eat at a nearby restaurant instead of getting him immediate medical attention. I feel terrible about that situation. I take full responsibility. We're committed to providing the best possible care for all of our wrestlers, but the language barrier with Rey made it more difficult. We are working to improve communication and translation services to ensure this doesn't happen again. At the end of the day, the fault lies with me and our organization not being able to properly understand and address Rey's needs. I want Rey to know that his health and well-being are our top priorities. We will redouble our efforts to ensure he receives the world-class medical care and support he deserves. Hopefully, we can move forward in a spirit of mutual understanding and work together to create the best possible environment for our entire AEW roster.
So nobody had Google Translate.
I was going to ask you, how the Spanish announce table used to be a thing?
Yeah.
Do they not have one there?
I mean,
he's the only one that speaks Spanish in that place?
Right. Like that to me is far-fetched. I'm like, yo, that's a heck of a sell you trying to sell me on that one. Because in the heat of a moment.
Could you imagine? You were just talking about like green eggs and ham and such. He's literally got like a lacerated spleen, and he's like, oh, he wants some green eggs and ham. Yeah, he should go here.
Right.
Let's send him to Whoville.
Oh yeah, with the Grinch, with a pet. Yeah.
Like that's what's going on here. Is that not really telling?
Right. Hold on, let me maximize my stream. I'm trying to read this message again. Yeah, putting out there that he don't speak fluent English. That's crazy. Yeah, you couldn't. I mean, he missed the mark, but he went public with it. This statement here is stuff like this, man. You sure this company gonna be around for 5 years? Double J. Like if they're handling things like this right now, you sure this company gonna be around for that long? So like, he got injured and he don't speak English. All right, fine. Ain't nobody got nobody got Google Translate to be able to more timely or accurately be able to, even if you don't speak English. Like to me, that's just it does seem like you dropped the ball. So this letter is important. This letter is relevant because it is a significant case of fumbling. You know what I'm saying? And I just find it short of saying hard to believe. I'm just peculiar. I'm just curious, like how you let this happen?
Dude, I just can't get over the fact that like he's like he's probably pointing here.
Yeah.
Get this man some food. Like
yeah. Like what is what
on earth? This is the first time that I'm ever really critical here. Like,
right.
That is inexcusable.
Absolutely.
How did you come to a contractual agreement with someone to his point? Now I would be questioning everything.
Right.
This is where, it is. Look, as a leader, you have to be honest with yourself.
Yep.
You have to not surround yourself with yes men. And I don't believe that TK's done that. But now it is time because it's becoming glaringly obvious.
Right.
And if it's obvious to you and I, then it should be to a network executive or to talent.
Yep.
And unfortunately, this is where it seems like we're closer to who killed AEW than we are to some kind of pathway to success.
Exactly.
Because what was it, 28 weeks? What was the wars?
82 weeks.
82 weeks.
Or 83 weeks.
Dyslexia. Actually. All right.
Yeah.
In 82 weeks, are they still here? When you're seeing stuff like this now?
I don't know. And that's the troubling part. I can make a case that they would be, but at what level are they? Are they limping along, or are they still working and thriving? It's hard to say. It's hard to say when you got talent that's saying that, and especially like you said, if in another area where I'm having a contract, I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to have nobody that speak. I just know what to do and sign or what have you. But in this case, if I'm injured, like, nah, man, somebody had to have Google Translate. That to me is weird.
Dude, that's the craziest part. I'm mystified. Like my mind is blown over this.
Yeah.
This is that bad. Because now, I honestly, when I saw the statement, I thought, oh, okay, this doesn't even look like somebody, like there's a PR person.
Right. Look like he had to handwrite this himself.
He wrote it, and then he may have said, AI, clean this up.
Yeah.
But even then, it still kept the core of what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to, like, he never added the extra layer of, and make me sound not liable.
Right.
Because instead he sounds completely responsible. The NFL, someone would have a stroke if they release something like this, because this is an admission of guilt.
It is, and it's
like
the
WWE when my guy fell.
Yeah.
They didn't even say something like this.
Right. Yeah. 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 This is to me, it's a bad look. He it's totally, he made itself. He made himself vulnerable.
It's a little bit of a bind. He's in a bind now because he's completely liable.
All right.
Now, any attorney that has Google Translate is probably offering Ray Phoenix, all the medical care at their dime,
right?
To be paid back at a future date. But
like I say, let us say this too, and then we can move on because we got to wrap up here. Understand, if you take nothing else from me in this conversation about AEW, I'm critical of it because I believe pro wrestling is better served with a viable competitor present than just WWE. This is why this concerns me. This doesn't seem like a move that the mindset behind making this decision and addressing it this way is the mindset that I feel like is behind a company not really being able to sustain their growth and being gone at some point way sooner than they thought. And that's how I feel about it. That's pretty much it, man. I can't say it no better than that, or I can't say it no more complete than that.
Just a little disappointing. I do want to highlight on a positive note, they did do well tickets wise for the upcoming pay-per-view. So despite some of the low and lackluster collisions that have occurred, so I do want to point out that some things have began to start working out. So
don't no-sell finishers and no blades.
No syringes?
No syringes.
And with that, we will be back for our final segment, which is, of course, Name That Superstar.
All right, I'm ready for it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
What it do, sports fans? It's your man BSJ from the Shop Report. And guess what? The shop is now open for business, baby. If you're on Facebook, go to our fan page, The Shop Report. Click on More, and then Shop to view all products. Or if you're on Instagram, click on the shop tab to see all our products. I mean, what you want me to do? I'm selling merch here.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Bicracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Bicracky's patented design incorporates a two-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Bicracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Bicracky, save your back while you clean your crack.
It's Kayden Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Homie Diallo, and you watching the shop.
My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the shop report.
Raquel, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Manworks from Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
This is Herman RV, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, and you're listening to the Shop Report.
It's the most wonderful time of the show.
All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's do this.
Gentlemen, this is our favorite segment, or at least mine.
Yeah.
Because I keep stumping the Schwab here.
Yeah.
D. Gully is tasked with this challenge with no other prior knowledge intentionally, because he is our resident Schwami. And he is given a list of clues along with or as close to, modern up-to-date photo of said individual. And with said clues is meant to, of course, ultimately name that superstar. And of course, I always come prepared with two in case he answers one before I even finish the clues. So our first, this one's a little bit difficult because it is a relatively small image.
Let's go for it.
All right. So D. Gully,
Steve Blackman.
Gosh. Oh, man. I almost swore.
My God. Read the clues. Go ahead.
Well, this wrestler and superstar was known as a skilled martial artist, had a reputation for his no-nonsense attitude, ultimately was a two-time hardcore champion, but also a tag team champion with a gentleman by the name of Al Snow.
Mm-hmm.
He also competed at WrestleMania 19 and WrestleMania 2000. I'm sorry, WrestleMania 14, that would be. And as of last year, he is a bail bondsman.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, name that superstar Steve Blackman.
That's right. Steve Blackman, otherwise known as the Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
And of course, Head Cheese is who he was when he was with Al Snow.
Right.
Thankfully, I used the extra time to have the other one ready to roll here because thank goodness I did.
All right, bet.
Man, oh man. I told you, I give this guy nothing. All right. And intentionally, because look how quick, even with nothing, he operates. So imagine if I actually did give him the clues ahead of time. D. Gully. Hopefully this one gives you a little bit more difficult.
I had some guess already, but I'm like, no, I don't. All right, but let me get some clues here.
All right. So this gentleman at one point in time was a part of a couple different tag teams.
Okay.
One of which was with John Cena. He ultimately was out of WWE by 2003 and was in Japan, but that was short-lived. He was also a part of WrestleMania 2000, and he is still involved in wrestling. I believe he has his own promotion of sorts, but he does have one legacy that has been a part of NXT. D. Gully, name that superstar.
He was a teammate of John Cena in Ohio Valley, or on the main roster?
On the main roster.
Back in 2003, he was out of WWE by 2003, but he was on the main roster with John Cena.
That's right.
Oh. Legacy. So he's got a daughter or a son that's in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Was in WrestleMania 16, you said, or WrestleMania 2000?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you stumped me. Who is this?
So this is Bull Buchanan, and otherwise known, again, he made his debut in 1997 as Recon of the Truth Commission. In 2000, he joined the Right to Censor faction and won the WWE World Tag Team titles with The Godfather.
The Good Father.
Well, right.
Yep, that is Bull Buchanan. Wow. And I think that Cena clue threw me off because I didn't think he was around on the main roster with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that totally threw me.
Because my
actually, timeline jumped.
And I knew that was why I intentionally left the Godfather thing out. Good burger, whatever. Because the Cena thing was after.
Yeah.
So this is, I would say this is before the rebrand of Cena.
All right, yeah. Gotcha. Okay. All right, well, you got me. I'm 1 for 1, but the way that I struck out of the way I ended that slump, first pitch strike over the wall. First pitch slam over the wall. Oh, he's not going to tell us any spoilers. He's going to let us find out next week. Christmas Day is next Wednesday.
Oof. I'm not ready. All right. Fantastic.
Oh, are you ready? Yeah, if you broke, you are ready. Yes, I'm ready for Christmas.
Imagine being broke and not ready.
Yeah. No, believe me. If you broke, you are. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But listen, man, I'll tell you what, I had a great time tonight. We ran a couple hours. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Thanks for me hanging with y'all. But like we said, we'll be back Wednesday with the Shop Report at 9 on the PM side. That's what our host and the originator, the architect of our shield here, that is Barbershop Jay, and we'll be talking about it. And then as we wind down with our After Dark, because the fantasy football season, by which that show has its original purpose, we'll be here Saturday on 9 on the PM side for that. And that's where you get your fantasy sit, start, trade, waiver wire questions, especially because you guys are trying to win some big money, unlike Double J, who lost because of Keenan Allen. But nonetheless, you get your fantasy sit, start questions. Pick them who to play and who not to play, and we'll give you some insight on that. Hopefully we get it right. We tend to do pretty well. Sometimes we get it wrong, but unlike others, we'll admit our mistakes. Final thoughts here, Double J, on what we got in the world of WWE and wrestling in general.
Yeah. Again, to your point, where we're headed is we're in a transitional era.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm overlooking that. I do want, like I said, we'll start investing a little bit more time in is on the AEW side as well, because there are enough things going on over there that I want to be able to point out. And of course, before January, essentially, right? Yep. So, but as far as like tonight's Raw and everything that occurred, this is one of those moments in time where I think it is worth paying close attention to those details, right? We threw out a few things that creatively I think are going to somewhat kind of manifest to some extent.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of paying attention week to week, but certainly also paying attention to the other side of things, which is who's up next with not just these signings, but also how, there's a reason that those shows like Main Event and NXT are starting to do numbers, and certainly we want to touch on those as well in the future. So don't be afraid, of course, those that are watching to be able to shed, some your thoughts on how those are going as well. The speed thing. Okay, because we are back Wednesdays. Obviously, I'm watching Speed, and I'm like, man, were they? Well, I remember watching it live.
Yeah.
I asked you in the Discord, was it a timing thing, or is it always just pre-recorded now?
I think it's always pre-recorded, and its speed is 3 minutes. Why not pre-recorded?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, why not pre-record Speed to get it right? And because it's only 3 minutes, right? How many retakes might we do of our opinions or shows? It's 3 minutes. Why have a botch on a 3-minute program? Why have a botch on a 3-minute show? Why not get it right so that way you can present the best that you can have to offer in a snippet, so that way people can enjoy more of it. So I'm not upset with that. As a kid, it being live and I'm not there doesn't matter to me as much. It used to, right? That's what WCW Nitro sort of put into our heads, if you will. I think that they were live, but we're not there. So what does it matter if they're live? Like, if it's filmed before a live studio audience like Raw is, and it's still great TV, then it's okay. At that time, though, you had an interesting thing where you had the live show being the better program than the taped one. Nonetheless, we're far removed from that. For Speed to be pre-recorded and only 3 minutes, great. Give us the best of what you got. Make sure it's right. Make sure it looks good. Package it up. But I'm cool with that. Like I said, we want to add more to AEW. We got to give it some more time. We're on broadcast typically during the time that AEW is on, but we've got days before and after, so that way we can recap it. Engage with us, though, guys. Let us know what's going on in AEW. We don't claim to be experts. We just have opinions, and we like to share them. There's a difference. You follow what I'm saying? We ain't always right. We ain't always wrong. But we're never always one of the things. But what we are always looking for is great discussion, great debate for us to pass the time in this chaotic world. And that's what we do. So we appreciate y'all coming, sticking, locking down with us, bot or not. Thanks for coming to our spot. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, you know where to find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. What You Mean Gully, WYM Gully on Twitch, WYM Gully on Instagram. Double J, you got your digital profit. And thank you very much. And remember, like our host say, next time you really want to know what's going on, come to the shop. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Bring that back up. Yeah, look at that. You won the week, but where am I at? See that?
That lead is closing quickly.
Oh, really? The lead that was 170 points. Well, no. It is closing. What 188 now? 188 points. Okay, the lead is closed. Yeah, closing the gap to 188 points. But look here. I still know how to make my picks. And for that,
true.
And with all of that, If you want to know about them picks, you want to know about the pick'ems or whatever, like I was going to say, if you really want to know what's going on, come to the shop. Why?
Walk-ins are always welcome.
Holla.